What went down during Takeoff's last 24 hours? Famous rapper Takeoff was shot dead early morning in Houston, Texas. And we're going to look at the rapper's last 24 hours to see how his final moments were spent. Reports from law enforcement and witnesses indicate the time of the tragedy was around 2:30 a.m. The call came in concerning a man who had been shot at 810 Billiards in Bowling, Houston, a bowling alley in Houston. As the story goes, Takeoff and Quavo were among the partygoers when things became heated. Someone then fired shots, hitting Takeoff somewhere on or near the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene, unfortunately. A male and female, ages 23 and 24, were also injured and sent to the hospital, as officials of the Houston Police Department said at a press conference on Tuesday afternoon. The police said that most people who saw what happened fled the scene, and they are now asking anyone who saw anything to come forward. There was a fight involving Takeoff and Quavo when they were playing dice at the bowling alley, according to witnesses and the Houston police chief. Takeoff didn't initiate the fight and kept quiet throughout, but he was still injured by the resulting gunfire. You can see and hear Quavo having a debate with another individual, while Takeoff is standing only a few feet behind him. During the conversation, someone, possibly Quavo, says, "I don't get down like that." After a few seconds, there's a single crack of gunfire, and then, as soon as everyone begins to flee, there is a flurry of shots blasting through the crowd. Over 10 separate gunshots can be heard in total, and it appears that at least 2 different types of firearms were used. Since the rapper is generally considered to be a gentle, non-violent person with no significant criminal history, he very likely had nothing to do with the shooting. Takeoff was an innocent bystander in a fight that tragically ended in his death. Takeoff uploaded a picture to his Instagram account just a few hours before the shooting, showing him lighting it up at a bowling alley and having a good time partying with his uncle and friends. A number of hours earlier, Quavo also uploaded a video of himself driving around Houston with Jazz Prince to celebrate Prince's birthday and just having a good time with his boys. Nobody knew what would happen just a few hours later. Many people on Twitter started accusing Jazz Prince of not being a good host and said that it was his job to make sure Takeoff was safe, given that he always talks about mob ties. Everyone is having a hard time coming to terms with how a game of dice could get heated enough to result in multiple shots being fired, and Takeoff, who didn't say anything, was caught in the crossfire. What makes the incident more tragic is that Takeoff and Quavo released their new project as the duo Unk and Few on Monday, just a day before Takeoff was shot. The latest project was their new music video titled Messy. As it stands, that's the last of Takeoff's work we will be seeing. The legendary rapper changed the rap game forever, which is why the rap and hip-hop communities are having such a hard time dealing with his loss. Takeoff died at 28 years old, and he spent his last few hours having a good time with his friends and